Hello everyone, welcome to Bible Stories. The title of today's story is The Birth of Jesus Christ. Now this was how Jesus Christ was born. Angel Gabriel was sent by God to a city of Galilee to a virgin. Her name was Mary. So Mary was about to be married to a man named Joseph. Now, the angel greeted Mary when he saw her and also told her she is highly favored. Mary was troubled, very troubled when she saw the angel. But the angel told her not to be afraid, that she has found favor with God, that she will get pregnant and she'll give birth to a son and call his name Jesus. But Mary said, "How can this be? I've not been with a man." But the angel told her, "The Holy Spirit shall come upon you, and the power of the Most High shall overshadow you." You see all that? The baby shall also be called the Son of God. Now these were all of the things that the angel told Mary when the angel visited Mary. And Joseph, her husband to be, being a righteous man, was right with God. He held unto God. He trusted God. He didn't want to disgrace her. He decided not to marry her anymore because she was pregnant. Now, what happened next? But while Joseph was thinking on it, the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, "Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to receive Mary as your wife, for the baby in her is of the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you will name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins." Question time. All right, we continue our story. Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, Herod was the king at that time. Wise men came from the east to Jerusalem, saying, "Where is he that is born the King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him." Wise men all the way from the east came to worship Jesus. Now, when Herod the king heard these things, when he heard everything that the wise men had said, he and all Jerusalem were troubled with him. And he gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people. He gathered all the chief priests and the scribes of the people together and asked them where that Christ they were talking about should be born. And they said unto him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for it is written through the prophets." That was a reply when he asked. When Herod, at that time, then Herod called the wise men privately to know exactly the time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and find out exactly about the young child, and when you have found him, come back and tell me, that I also may go and worship him." These were the words of Herod. After listening to the king, they went their way, and behold, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood where the young child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced. When they saw the star, they rejoiced. They came into the house and saw the baby and the mother and bowed down to worship. And opening their treasures, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. We'll take a tour on those places we mentioned just earlier in our story. Do you remember the continents? Remember we have 7 continents in the world? Asia, Africa, North and South America, Antarctica, Europe, and finally Australia. 7 continents in the whole world. So all the countries that you hear about are under this continent. So in our story, we talked about Bethlehem of Judea. That was the place Jesus was born. The continent of Bethlehem is Asia. So you're looking for where Bethlehem is in Asia. That's the continent. And the country of Bethlehem is the Palestine. Bethlehem is a city. You're wondering where those shepherds watched their flocks by night? The fields around the village where they watched the flocks by night many years ago, when the angel appeared to tell them about the birth of Jesus. You want to know what it looks like now? This is what it looks like now. And so remember we talked about saying the Palestine is the country. This clothing you can see here is the kind of clothing. Of course, you know, everybody now wears different clothing from different tribes and all of that. So this is what the clothing actually looks like. Now remember the cave when Herod wanted to kill the baby boys? Some people ran to hide in a place. That place was named today as the Chapel of the Milk Grocer. We can still find it right there in Bethlehem. It's called the Chapel of the Milk Grocer, as you can see here. It's very interesting to know that these are one of the 10 most important places in Bethlehem, and these places are part of them. I'm also glad to know as well. So we go to the next, which is Solomon's Pool. Remember Solomon, the son of David? So that is Solomon's Pool. The Palestinian dress that you saw earlier in the picture has a trademark there. So as you can see in the picture, this embroidery is their traditional trademark. There is a traditional Palestinian embroidery. So if you see that kind of design, just know that is the traditional Palestinian embroidery. All right. And you know what their flag looks like? This is what their flag looks like. Black, white, green, red, red. Don't get it confused. Remember, in Nigeria, it's green, white, green. Now to the east to Jerusalem, where the wise men came from. East to Jerusalem, where the wise men came from. Jerusalem, which was once the capital of Judah, is now the capital of Israel. Now the capital of Israel. In 586 BC. BC means before Christ. And the citizens were taken captive. It was after the Persians conquered Babylon that the Judahites could return presently Jerusalem, which was once the capital of Judah, is now the capital of Israel. Although Arabic is the language of Bethlehem's inhabitants, English, French, and other languages are widely spoken and understood by many people in Bethlehem. Thank you. We'll continue our story on Jesus in our next video. Thank you, and God